Hey, Kingdom Scribes, welcome back to the Author's Corner Podcast, Season 4. If you're new to the Author's Corner Podcast, this is a podcast that helps faith based authors build their voice, message, and impact. I am your host, Tiffany Dillard, and today's episode is one that's going to challenge and stretch you and me in the best way possible. We're going to talk about being stage ready. You heard me. Getting on the stage, speaking in front of people. That's what we're going to talk about today. So, we're going to talk about what it looks like to be prepared to speak as an author. So, I want you to go get your favorite notebook, journal, your drinks, your snacks, anything that you need to help you stay engaged with this episode on today. Come back and then join me for an amazing conversation. Welcome back, Kingdom Scribes. So, let's be honest. Writing your book was a big step of obedience, okay? Like sitting down at your computers, sitting down at the table with your laptop was a big step of obedience. Because I know for myself, it took me a while to even get to the place to even starting to jot down notes about my book, starting to even think about like what the title would be, what I would talk about. Even it took me a minute to even get to the place of brainstorming about the book. So I know if it was a big step of obedience for me, I know it was a big step of obedience for you. But what if I told you that your book isn't the end of your message? Now, if you have been rocking with me on the Author's Corner podcast, you know I've always said that your book is your business card, right? Your book is the key to unlock the door to the next level. Well, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about how that your book isn't the end of your message, it's the beginning. So, speaking allows you to extend the impact of your book and connect with people on a deeper and more personal level. So, one of those doors that will open for you is speaking engagements. Because, I mean, what better way to get to know the author than through a live event, through a speaking engagement? You have a subject that you talked about in your book. You have something that you are an expert on, and people want to know a lot more about it. My book is about me surviving domestic violence. There are so many speaking engagements that I can be invited to share my story pertaining to surviving domestic violence. And look, y'all, if you come across this video and you want to invite your girl to do a speaking engagement on the topic of domestic violence or book publishing or marriage, blended families, I got a lot of little topics under my belt. Hit me up, okay? Hit me up. Put a comment in the comment section down there. But let me tell you about what happens when you speak. So, when you speak, you build credibility, you expand your reach, you continue to sell more books because you have to take your books with you to this speaking engagement. You step into your assignment as a messenger. So, you go from being a kingdom scribe to now a messenger. You go from being a kingdom scribe to now you are a messenger. Like, let that set in. There's more to you than just being an author. There's more to you than just writing a book. There's more to you than just being a kingdom scribe. This is where that being fruitful and multiplying come in. Now you're stepping up to another level of who you are and becoming a messenger. Because some people have your book, true enough. Some people may buy your book at the event. But some people may want to just get to know you and hear your words instead of reading your words. They may want to ask questions, you know? They may want you to kind of um, help them get better understanding on the topic at hand. And you can do that as a speaker. So let's talk about the signs you are ready to speak. And again, this is a topic that's for me as well, because I know somebody may be saying, well, how many speaking engagements you had, Tiffany? I have had probably, I want to say 4. One has been in person. I did I spoke at a wives conference back in 2021. And then the other ones have just been like virtual interviews where I've had to share my story. And so if you're doing virtual interviews, that's still a speaking engagement, okay? Because somebody else is having you to come on their platform to speak. So whether you are actually in a physical building on the stage, or if you are doing a virtual interview or virtual, conference or anything like that, that is still a speaking engagement. So do not try to make it small because somebody's inviting you to a virtual space and you're not in the building, so you don't count it as a speaking engagement. It is, okay? It is. So let's get back to the topic, okay? So you might be wondering, am I really ready to get on stage? And here's some signs that you're ready to get on stage. So you have a clear message tied to your book, all right? You're passionate about helping others through your story. We are. People often say you should speak on that. So you should have a conversation about that. You should speak on that. How many of us have heard that? I have. I have. And then you feel a nudge in your spirit to share more publicly. So you broke out that, introvert box. You've broken out of that box of being shy. You keep hearing other people talking about this topic, and they're not just giving everybody what they need to have. You may hear the gatekeepers. Let's do that. You may hear the gatekeepers um talking about the topic but not really talking about it, and you're like, no, there's more information. Like, no, there is so much more that they could have said to the people. There is so much more that they could have shared with the people. There is so much more that they could have done to help them better understand. You may have went to a conference and you paid your money for that ticket, and you got there and you was like, what did I pay for? What did I pay for? And you're like, you know what, this is a waste, because they're not talking about anything. It's like they're just hitting little points and then go on and move on to the next speaker, and they hit little point and then we just move it right along. But nobody's like teaching and going into depth as they advertise. Because some conference and stuff, they'll advertise like, yes, it's going to be a powerful conference. You're going to walk away with everything that you need, and you're going to have everything you need. Our speakers are subject matter experts, and they're going to pour into you, and they give you a little drop, and then it'll be like, oh, next speaker. And you're like, what? Why? Why? So if you feel that way, or if you have been feeling that way, then that means it's time for you to get on the stage. Okay? It's time for you to get on the stage. So if that's you, I want you to lean on in all the way in, because we are going to prepare to become a speaker. We're going to prepare to move beyond the book because we have a message. The Reflection of Me, my book alone has a message of deliverance, of healing, of restoration. It has messages on basically not dumbing yourself down because you trying to get someone else to fill voids for you, healing from insecurity, understanding the red flags and paying attention to what God is saying, domestic violence within itself. um my book has a message of talking about what happens when you feel like you have lost control, and how you will make rational decisions when you feel like you don't have control over your life. um My book also talks about the difficulty of transition because I had to move from living with my dad majority of my life to living with my mom, and that transition was a lot. So my book has a lot of things, and as I'm sitting here telling y'all, I'm kind of thinking in my mind, like, girl, yeah, you got a lot of things to talk about in your book, and you do too. So let's prepare to get on this stage, okay? So let's talk about what you need before taking the stage. Now, this is where you need to get your notebook, okay? Well, you should have been already taking notes by now. But get your notebook out now. If you haven't gotten it out, get your phone out, wherever you need to do. Pause this so you can go get what you need if you didn't get it in the beginning. So go ahead and pause it so that way you can write down the information. Because I don't want you to walk around here and say, nobody told me what I needed to do. Nobody told me anything. Nobody told me anything. So I'm telling you now, go get what you need, come back, push play, so that way you can get these instructions. So let's get practical, okay? So before you start speaking, you will need a signature talk based on your book's message. So you will need a signature talk based on your book's message. You will need a speaker one sheet or media kit. You will need a quality headshot or headshots. You will need a short video of you speaking, and yes, even a Zoom clip works. So again, if you have done a virtual speaking engagement, a clip of that will work. That is showing proof that you have been speaking. So do not discredit your virtual speaking engagements because they have not been on an actual stage in a building. Speaking is speaking. There's an audience, somebody created a platform, so speaking is speaking no matter what, okay? And then you need a place where people can book you, like a website or a booking form, okay? And then know that Tiffany is doing all this with you. So let's hold each other accountable. Let's talk about it in the comments. Let's say, hey, I got my signature talk because I did my signature talk, y'all. So I got my signature talk. Um, I have a quality headshot. So, and I do have a snippet of me speaking. I do from the conference back in 2021. So I got 3 out of the 5. And I do have a website. I just need to get it back up again to where people can book me to speak there. So that's a goal. I had to cut some things back, y'all. Sometimes you got to cut a little things back. But that is a goal to get my personal website back up so that way people can book me for speaking engagements there. And I would also say create you a business card because I have a business card and I had forgot y'all. I put my Tiffany Dillard business cards to the side because my website went up. So I was like, why am I handing out these cards? I just need to focus on New Voice Books. And God really gripped me up and got me all the way together. He was like, how are people supposed to get in contact with you if you're not giving them your card? I mean, how? How they're supposed to get in contact with you? So get you some business cards so you can also pass them out too. I know people say, well, people take business cards. They do. I know we have the digital business card, but people do still pass out business cards as a form of providing their contact information. Look, I've been doing some vending events for the last year, and people are asking, you got a card? You got a card? You can put a QR code on that card where they can just go right to your website, even though the information is on there. But it's an easy, way for them to get to the website. And then, hey, let them go and learn more about you, okay? So these things that we just discussed. So you need a signature talk based on your book's message, a speaker one sheet or media kit. You need a quality headshots. You need a short video of you speaking. Yes, even a Zoom clip works. And then you need a place where people can book you, like a website or a booking form. And you can create a Google booking form for free. You can create that for free. So that's not even something you have to really do. And then your media kit, if you have Canva, you can create that in Canva. You can do that. And you know what? I'm going to put that on my list because that's something that I can provide as a service. You see that? You see that right there? You can you can provide that as a service. That's something New What's Books can add media kits. So that way our authors have media kits to kind of help transition them to becoming a speaker. And we can provide this information on what they need. So these things help event planners know that you're professional and prepared. So it helps people know that you are ready. Okay. So let's talk about crafting your signature talk, because I told y'all we're going to learn some things here. I'm not a gatekeeper. I want us to learn and I want us to understand. I want us to gain knowledge so that way we can pass along this information to other people and share it with other people. Okay. So think of your talk as a live version of your book. That's good, ain't it? It should center around your book's core message. So my core message within my book, The Reflection of Me, would be um surviving domestic violence. So it would be talking about the deliverance. It would be talking about the acknowledgement that I didn't have to stay in the place that I was. It would be talking about coming back to God, and then the healing and the deliverance that came in and as a result of coming back to God and reconnecting myself back to God, and how God restored my voice and my identity. That would be my message, Um, and depending on the stage, even if they were talking about transitioning, my core message could go back to me being that 11, 12-year-old girl that had to transition from dad's house to mom's house, and how that caused me to feel like that I was losing control because it wasn't a smooth transition. It was one that was just kind of abruptly done after a conversation was had. But you'll have to go to the Kingdom Shop to get the book, y'all, to read the story. Okay. So your talk should be a live version of your book, so it should be centered around your book's core message. It should be built around 3 to 5 clear teaching points. So I just broke down some teaching points from my book, The Reflection of Me. So then those are the teaching points that I would use, and to be clear teaching points. And then you can include your personal testimony or breakthrough. So remember, I can talk about me learning about how I did not have to accept being abused. And then I can talk about coming back to God, because that was a process, and then allowing God to heal me and deliver me. That's my personal testimony. That's the breakthrough. And then end it with a strong call to action. And my strong call to action will let people know that God loves you, and that the only person that can fill the voice in your life when it comes to fill the voice in your life is God. The only person that can heal you, the only person that can make you whole, the only person that can set you free is God. So my call to action to my audience will be, come to God. Lay everything at his feet. Allow him to do the work in you so that he can do the work through you. And he'll take care of them. He'll take care of the person who violated you. He'll take care of the person who abused you. He'll take care of the person who dropped you. But you come back to him. You surrender your all to him. You come out of the darkness and step into the light with him so that he can change your life. That would be my call to action. So remember, it should be flexible. So you want to create versions that are like 10, 20, or 45 minutes long. because you never know what type of speaking engagement you're going to have. So create one for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 45 minutes. So that way, when somebody calls you and says, hey, can you come in and speak? Then you are already ready to go. We need you to come in and share about your book. You're already ready to go. If they call me and, wanted me to talk about the marriage conversation with God, I'm already ready to go because I can pick some 3 to 5 points out of my book and talk about that. Or I can take one chapter and create 3 to 5 points just off that one chapter. Okay, you got me? So now let's prepare with confidence, because y'all, it was a struggle for me to even get on YouTube. I didn't want to come out here in front of the people. I didn't want to be on camera. I was cool being on Clubhouse behind the profile pic, and all you would hear is my voice. And I was nervous on that platform. You know what I'm saying? I was nervous on that platform. I was nervous even when people would come in the room. I'm like, oh, and I would kind of lose my train of thought a little bit, but I had to, gather it back, because sometimes I get excited and I start talking fast. I'll start stumbling over my words, like I just did. I start stumbling over my words, and I do have a little list, but that's me. I'm not complaining or what was me. That's me. And that is something that I pray and I submit to God all the time and ask him to help me to slow down, because my thoughts will be going and I have things coming in my head, and I start on one thought and I come with another, and I'm like, just to slow down and complete everything, because I don't want to leave my audience, you, in a place where you're like, wait a minute, she started talking about this and she went over here, and then she said, oh, I'm trying to piece things together. And you are doing more work trying to understand what I'm saying, because I'm all over the place, or things are not clear and I'm moving too fast, then being able to digest and process what you were told, because I gave you a clear message. I caused you to think, and now you're processing what the information that was given to you. So now we're going to talk about confidence. You don't have to be a polished speaker. So you don't have to be a person that has been speaking for a decade, 25, 35 years. Of course, their presence and how they speak and all of that is going to be completely different than what you're doing, because they've been doing it. But believe you me, everybody had their first day. Everybody had their first day. And the first days are always, you're nervous, you're a little fearful, because you're ready for it, you're excited, but you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to take place. Everybody has had the first day at school, on the job. Everybody has had a first day of doing something. And then as you continue to do it, you build up confidence, and then you continue to learn more and more and more and more. And you start to perfect some things, change some things, learn how to do things in a different way or easier way. And then it continues to just build. So again, you do not have to be a polished speaker. You just need to be an authentic one. When I come on here, yes, when I first started doing the episodes on YouTube, I was trying to take everything out that didn't sound right. The and anything. If I stumbled over a word, I'm like, I gotta take that out. And as I was editing, God said, stop. Stop taking it out. Just be real. Just have a real conversation. You are not perfect. Let it be. Because people want to see someone who's authentic. And in this day and time, people say they're real until they have to be proven that they're real. And they're not. They're fake, and they trying to put on this whole image in front of you, and they're not being themselves. And I have learned that when you are authentic and organic, people are drawn to you. People are drawn to you. I've had so many people that have come to me and say, hey, I can help you build Hey, Kingdom Scribes, I just wanted to let you know that we do have a Kingdom shop. And you may say, well, what's in the Kingdom shop? We have this Kingdom Scribe box that's in the Kingdom shop that you can pre order now. We also have my new release book, Marriage Conversation with God, that's also in our Kingdom shop that you can pre order now. We have so many other things, like we have a full t shirt line that helps you to show up in fashion, but also declare to the world who you are when it comes to God and your relationship with God and your identity in God. We have different journals on there. We have a new children's book that was published that you can kind of walk through the journey of with Destiny and Layla's Big Book Adventure. We have so many things in the Kingdom shop. So head on over to nvpublishingco.com. Again, the website is nvpublishingco.com, and check out the Kingdom shop and go ahead and purchase today. You can sign up for our loyalty program, which can help you earn points. And those points can help take off some dollars at the checkout. You know what I'm saying? So, we always want to save a little coin, okay? So head on over to the Kingdom shop at nvpublishingco.com today. Be blessed. Build up your audience on YouTube. Do this and do that, do that. And I get it. I know that there's some systems and there's some type of things that you can do to help build up your presence. But I want you and us, I want you and me to have a authentic, organic relationship. I want you to want to be here. I want you to turn your notification on to all and set it to all so that you can get all the notifications of when there is a short going up or it's a full video that's going up, a full episode going up. I want you to want to come here. You know, I don't, and I know some people are going to come. You're going to have the stragglers. You're going to have the people that feel like they can, go to everybody's stuff and judge everybody's stuff because they're so perfect and they're the know-it-alls in the world. We have those. But those that are here, the Kingdom Scribes that my voice is assigned to, you are assigned to my sound. You are drawn to my sound because God told you to be here. I want you to know me. Now, I ain't putting all my business out here now, okay? But I want you to have that organic relationship with me because I'm being authentic. I'm being true about this book publishing process. I'm not walking around here, you know, full of pride and making it seem like y'all should know this stuff and da 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 da. No, I'm gonna walk with you. Because when you walk with somebody on a journey, you have to one trust them. You have to know that they will have your back and be there for you. You have to know that when you fall or you don't understand something, they will pick you up or help you to learn. You're building a relationship with that person. When you're walking along aside someone on a journey, you'll want to build a true relationship with them. And that's what I want us to build here in this community. I want us to have true relationships with one another. So that's why I said to you early in the episode, this is for me as well as it is for you. Because yes, I've had a few speaking engagements, but I want more speaking engagements. You know, I want to do more speaking engagements because I'm going to have more books. So we want to, when you are showing up as a speaker, show up as an authentic one. They're not looking for perfect Patty or perfect Peter. They're looking for you, the author behind the book, the one whose story they read, or maybe haven't finished the book. And let me go to side note with that. Do not feel a certain type of way when somebody says that they have not finished your book. I had that happen to me last weekend. I asked somebody if they had finished the book because I want people's feedback, and the answer was no. And at first I was like, well, why? Is it not good? Do you not understand it? Is it all over the place? Like, what's happening? But I had to come to God with it. I had to bring it to God. I had to come to God with all of that. And God was like, you don't know how your story may affect someone, you know? And sometimes people are so happy to support you, but then your story could be a trigger for them. Or maybe something they're like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. It could be a whole lot of things. But just because they say they have not finished the book, don't take that on as what you wrote is not good enough. Don't do that. Because everybody's not going to finish it. And God had to remind me that do not allow that feedback, because that was still feedback, to outweigh the other feedback that you have gotten as well, to that told you that your book helped me realize that I have been in an abusive relationship. Your book has helped me to realize and understand a person who has been a family member, or a person that's been in domestic violence relationship. Your book has helped me to realize the love of God. Like, you don't want to allow that feedback to overshadow the positive feedback that you have gotten from others, just because they may not have finished your book. And the main thing is they bought the book. Okay. They bought the book. They bought the book. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because, again, we're building organic, authentic relationships. Okay. So now, okay. So let's get back. So we don't have to be a polished speaker. We need to be an authentic one. So how you can practice your speaking is practice in front of a mirror, record yourself, start in safe spaces like churches, small groups, or online webinars. Okay? Like, start in a safe space. I have done, like I said, interviews. I have done, me and my writing coach did a book boot camp. So I had to speak in that, and she's had some things that she's done to where she had me to speak in that. So I've been speaking, and it has been a safe place for me to speak because I'm safe with her. And so she's not going to put me in front of an audience that's going to be, we want the experts. Who is she? What she do? No, she's not going to do that. So start small and then work your way up. And here's a pro tip: speak slower than you think you need to. And I'm trying to learn that, y'all, because I be wanting to go, but I need to slow down. And I'm working on that even now as I am recording these episodes for the Author's Corner podcast. So speak slower than you think you need to. Let your message breathe. And I did that on purpose. Let your message breathe. Okay? Let your message breathe. So next we're going to talk about handling nerves and that imposter syndrome, because imposter be showing up on us. Okay, he and it's a he be showing up in our lives to try to tell us that we ain't good enough, and we got to kill him. We got to take him out. Take him out. Okay, we got to take him out. So yes, the nerves will come, but here's the truth: you're not performing, you're serving. Your voice matters because someone needs your story to unlock theirs. I'm going to say that one more time. Yes, the nerves will come. Yes, the anxiousness, the feeling of anxiousness will come. Yes, the fear will show up. But here's the truth: you are not performing, you are serving. You are helping others. You are being the guiding light that God has created you to be, to shine on a path for others and say, hey, you're walking down the pathway that I just walked down. Let me shine this light that God has given me so that way you can get to the other side. And know that your voice matters because someone needs your story to unlock their story. When I asked God, why am I talking about domestic violence? There's so many narratives around domestic violence. And he said, but there's not a narrative talking about my healing and my healing power and how I can deliver you and make you whole and restore your voice and your identity. I can bring you back to your original design. He said some people have survived domestic violence and is still being labeled by it. It's still showing up in their lives. They're still guarded because of the hurt and pain that they experience in a relationship. They're not able to allow their heart to be handled by anyone. But God made me whole so that I could love again, so that I could get married again, because I desire to be a wife. I know that I'm a wife. I was created to be a wife. And now don't come in my comments and say like you ain't just created to be a wife. I know that. I know that. But for what I'm saying now, that's my statement. Okay? Back up. Know that you are not an imposter. You are anointed. You are not an imposter. You are anointed. Okay? You are anointed. So let's talk about how to get booked. Okay? You should still have your notepad open. Write this down. So start with network. Ask your church, local events, or authors' friends about opportunities. So you got to start talking to people, introverts, you got to start talking to people. Okay? You got to start talking to people. So network. So ask people at church, local, check out local events. Reach out to your other author friends and ask them about opportunities. Share your speaking availability on social media and include a short clip of you talking about your message. Okay? Like social media is free. Use it, y'all. Use it. Use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. And then if doors aren't opening, create your own. Create your own. Because I've done some events and stuff on Clubhouse, which I'm, if God tells me to bring them on YouTube, then I'll bring them on YouTube. I have done challenges where I did like a 30-day victory challenge. And every day I recorded a reel and I posted it on TikTok and all my other platforms of thanking God about the victory in my life for whatever that, if it was that day or a situation, I was just sharing the victory that has happened in my life with the world, and I was encouraging others to do the same. So you can host a workshop or start a virtual event. The more you speak, the more confident and visible you'll become. So if the doors are not open, create your door. Create it with God. You don't have to wait for people. You don't have to sit there and say, nobody's calling me. Create your own platform. You don't have to wait till somebody call you to talk about your book. It's your book. Create your own platform. And then if you have some people that will collaborate with you, bring them on in. But don't sit there and wait. Now, don't do not network, but don't sit there and wait either. Okay, you can do both at the same time. So let's talk about faith and boldness. Faith. Let's talk about faith and boldness. Speaking is a faith walk. Pray for opportunities. Ask God to open doors for you. Ask God about doing your own thing too. Ask God which way should you take. Be faithful in the small ones. So if you're doing like a virtual event, show up on time. Provide the people with what they need and what they're asking you for. Be professional. Have your stuff ready to go. Have your stuff ready to go. So that way you can show up as a subject matter expert that you are at this speaking event, whether it's in person or whether it's online. And trust that the message God gave you wasn't just for the page, it's for the platform. This book, Marriage Conversation with God, is I'm going to talk about this, whether it's on somebody else's platform or it's on my platform. But I want to talk about this book because, yes, I had a conversation, and this was just a written form of the conversations that I had with God and what I learned in those conversations. But I'm still going to be on somebody's stage talking about marriage. God has already given me an event when it comes to a marriage conference. He'll give me more later on down the line when he's ready for me to do it. But I still can have a conversation about marriage now. I can. And I have some people, and as I'm sitting here talking to y'all, I have some people that are operating in marriage ministry right now that I can reach out to say, hey, can I just come into your group and just talk to people about my book for probably about 10-15 minutes? And that's how you start to network. And then it goes from there. So I don't put myself on the spot. I'm going to have to reach out. Okay. So you don't have to be perfect, just willing. God perfects all things in you and through you. You don't have to be perfect. All you need to do is be willing to speak, be willing to open your mouth and allow God to speak through you. Allow Him to shape your message in a way that it will help draw people to Him. It will help people know that they don't have to be in bondage when it comes to finances, in bondage when it comes to relationship, walking around here not knowing things that they can know, because there are some people that will stand on a stage or come into a virtual space and share information with them. That you have a message, and your message is one that can change the world. Your book will change the world. And your message, your verbal message on a stage or in a virtual space will change the world. You have something to say. Because if not, you would have never wrote a book. Your book is the starting point. It is not the ending point. It is not a one and done. You are a speaker. You are a speaker, Kingdom Scribe. You are a speaker, okay? So I want to thank you for joining me on the Author's Corner podcast. If you are feeling called to the stage, I encourage you to take the step of obedience. Take the step of obedience. If you need some encouragement, reach out. Join us on Facebook. We have a Kingdom Scribe community on Facebook. Join us over on Facebook in the Kingdom Scribe community and reach out and say, I need some help. I need some help preparing my signature talk. I need some help with knowing how to put everything together. I just need some help with being motivated and encouraged because I got a speaking engagement coming up and I'm nervous. Like, I need some help. That is what the Kingdom Scribe community is for. We're here to help one another grow and learn and excel and do what God has called us to do. We're here to help each other share our message with clarity and boldness, whether it's in our book or whether it's on the stage, in person or virtually. But we're going to share our message out because whether it's changing lives one book at a time or changing lives one speaking engagement at a time, either way it go, we're going to do what God has called us to do because we are His kingdom scribes. So I love you all. Y'all have an amazing, amazing day and be blessed and get prepared to get on the stage.